There's something of a drop in physical aggression normatively in elementary school. Yay for us, right? There's something of a drop in elementary school in terms of physical victimization, but it looks like relational victimization may take a slightly different curve where it goes down a bit in elementary school, but then in the transition to 5, 6, 7 starts to go up again. They get psychologically, or they get socially a little more sophisticated, they get a little more private in what they're doing, and they really know how to hurt people without directly hitting them.
And then there's the technology.
And then there's technology, yes.
The social networking.
Yeah. Which has again pushed it out of our vision, made it harder to actually stop it from that point of view, to understand how texting and cyberbullying and all these things that we try to ban at school, work in the after school hours, work in the home hours, and what's going on there. So other people with cyberbullying issues, not so much. They come up, when you're a little older. They tend to be, what are
middle school.
Your kids are?
Well, it would be higher than that, but at the middle school.
Middle school, certainly it starts by 5th, 6th, 7th grade. And sometimes it is at its most inappropriate in middle school. It might be at its most harmful in high school, but sometimes I think the things kids do in middle school is totally without reflection on what could happen. So I think that there's a lot of interest or recurring interest in issues around cyberbullying. Okay, so bullying, what counts? About 1 in 5 or 6 children are victimized or report victimization. This has been really steady. We just looked recently at the school surveys in BC, and over the last, since 2003, the range has been 13, 14, 15, no change. So whatever we're doing is not being reflected in kids' reports of bullying, of having been bullied. Sometimes or often it's 13, 14, 15% across schools, somewhat higher in rural schools typically than urban schools, and but not changing since 2003. Annual surveys say what we're doing is not making a difference. And this is on their answers to how safe am I in my school, and the other question is I've been bullied. How does that question go?
How often have I been bullied or threatened?
How often have I been bullied or threatened in the last year? So it's not at all, sometimes often. So we are, we're concerned, we repeatedly concerned. Less concerned that first graders come in with stable levels of bullying. I'm more concerned when 7th graders show stable levels of bullying, because you really think, we should be making some headway, at least in the school setting. Frequency of victimization is highest in elementary schools. They do start to go down after that. But kids who are chronically victimized, the 1 in 10 kids who are repeatedly victimized, it can be by the end of elementary school that their reputations are sort of sealed, and those kids can really get into a long trap if we don't do something for them. They can become chronic victims of bullying. And we know that that's associated with depression, with aggression. Kids who are bullied are often aggressive to begin with and become more aggressive because of the victimization. They feel like they're being selected out and targeted, so they're hitting back, or they're hitting in advance to protect themselves. Aggressive kids really do have problems with bullying, both as being a bully and being a victim of the bullying. We also know that it's associated with dropping out of school. Kids who are bullied, you wouldn't go to school if someone was hurting you there, right? You wouldn't want to be there. So eventually they drop out, or they find other kids who are also deviant, and they find a network of kids that are constantly getting into trouble. And you probably all know those little groups of kids that are constantly getting into trouble. So a lot of studies are showing that if we want to do something about bullying, we need to have something more of a community-based intervention. The research on social skills building does a great job of building social skills, but it doesn't actually do a lot about bullying and victimization. We don't see positive effects on bullying by just teaching social skills. And you can imagine, particularly relational bullying, we're giving them all the good competence, all the socially competent skills to be able to do it really well. It doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing STEP programs, we shouldn't be doing Lions Quest. Kids need to learn about empathy, they need to learn about what those things are, but doing that is not necessarily going to affect bullying in your schools. So the literature sort of suggesting we have to kind of bring people together. We have to bring the schools and the parents and the community together to talk about bullying, to think about it, and to think about how to solve that. So that's what this program was trying to do. It's trying to really, I think, develop a language around bullying and victimization so that kids can seek help. The main part of the program is not walk away, ignore, talk it out. The main part of the program is seek help and find a responsive adult, an adult who can help you stop the bullying. And every adult in this room is the person who could stop the bullying if you wanted to, if you were feeling confident in your own ability to do that. So the program is really to help adults be responsive to bullying and to help kids ask. So the language turns into this kind of code language for, so somebody comes up and says, you know, this kid is hitting me, and you say, oh, what have you tried? Have you used your wits? And the kids will say, yes, I walked away, and the kid kept following me, and I tried to ignore them, but they won't leave me alone, and I tried to talk it out, but he had me by the throat, and I really couldn't say anything. And so here I am asking for your help. And then the problem is, okay, what do you do? And what you do is help them with your own social skills for solving problems and solving conflicts to fix things. So whether it's bringing the two kids together and sort of sorting out who did what, and how they can create a future of not doing this with each other, whether it's opening the discussion in your class, whether it's reading some of these books to your kids, whether it's having a value system in your classroom and your school that says, you know, we use our wits to solve our problems. There needs to be an adult value system that surrounds these kids that says hitting people is mean and relational victimization is mean. And the focus of the WITS Leads program is on relational victimization and on telling kids how it's mean, how we know what it is, how not to do it, and how to report it if it's happening to you. We're really anxious for kids to come forward, to really feel like their schools, the people in their schools, their parents, everybody understands the idea that it's okay to report if somebody's hitting you. This is the best solution for you.